Is with me now. You say that the decoupling is dangerous or risky, but it's underway.
Yes, I think that's very clear, though how far it will go, what precisely its nature will be, how far it can go, remain very unclear. But we're only engaged in the discussion because it's not yet settled policy. And I think the US is stumbling, moving, whatever word you use, towards something, and it doesn't know the destination yet.
Right, but when we talk about the US side, are we talking because you don't like the look of the CHIPS Act, or you don't like the look of the IRA, or you don't like the look of the fact that the US clearly has now decided to put forward an old-fashioned industrial policy?
Well, these things have to be separated. Actually, the CHIPS Act, I suspect it won't work, but I understand fully why they're trying it, and similarly with the IRA. And on their own, it wouldn't be that problematic. They are moving towards a more general, it seems to me, it's the beginning of a real industrial policy. These have generally failed. I think it's pretty clear they have. But I think the bigger problem is that they are moving towards an all-round war, as it were, with China. They are thinking of it as an enemy that has to be suppressed in some profound way, and that will lead them far beyond where they are today.
As opposed to a competitor that has to be competed against.
Competed or managed. There's a shift.
But how can you manage? How can you manage against an economy that is run on completely different lines and arguably, since its accession to the WTO, has not followed the rules?
Well, I don't think anyone does. But actually, I don't think that the Chinese economy is run on fundamentally different lines. There is a view, I know, in the West that it's all about successful state-led industrial policy. I actually think state-led industrial policy has been almost an unambiguous failure. I think it has been remarkable how market-led much of what has happened has been. Its most successful companies are private companies. Of course it cheats, but I think actually the stealing of intellectual property has been greatly exaggerated as a source of its success. I think this is a very simplistic view of what made China successful. If it had really been what people criticize it as being, right, it would have been the Soviet Union, and it isn't.
OK, so you talk about, in your article, the reasons why the US and others have shifted away from a global perspective. You say the failure was not to provide any cushion for those who lost jobs and for the places in which they lived. I mean, that's an enormous reason why people in the West don't believe in globalization, because basically they got, I'll use it polite version, they got the dirty end of the stick.
But the point is that the degree of hostility to trade in the US, which is more closed than most European countries and Europe as a whole, is much greater than it is in Europe. Why? Because in America, these people were just abandoned. There is really no welfare safety net of any serious kind, no real trade adjustment assistance disappeared. They were just abandoned. That was a policy choice of American policymakers. They prided themselves on slashing taxes and slashing spending. No wonder people feel abandoned, because they were abandoned by their own country.
Now, if you then push forward to today, so you've got Macron in China, van der Leyen, you've got all over. China is the new, I won't say, you've got Belt and Road, which may not have been a success, but China appears to be leading in many, and even if you don't like having to do business with them, they are now leading, where the perception of the US is often it's stuck in some dystopian political mire from which it cannot escape, ergo the events of this week.
I think people are very anxious about the direction of the US, but most of the world wants a strong, effective US, and Europe certainly does, though it's more anxious. So there isn't any fundamental hostility to the US at all, and there remains great admiration for US values. But China is a reality. For much of the world, China is the most important trading partner. They can't just abandon it if there's nothing else for them.
Right, but do you now see the US, I won't say have lost its way, but is so internally preoccupied that it cannot give the leadership that other countries are seeking?
I think in certain very important areas, and one of the ones that was one I discussed, trade, the US is no longer seen as a leader. It is seen, and quite differently from the last 70, 80 years, as a country which is no longer wants to lead.
Now, final question to you, we meet tonight not only Passover, Ramadan, and Easter. Doesn't happen very often when all three of the great religions hit at the same time. Are you optimistic?
I think that one is obliged to be optimistic. Pessimism of the intellect, optimism of the will. I believe one must be optimistic, but one must be realistic too. And realistically, as Kristalina Georgieva said, we have a lot of big problems. It would be silly to pretend otherwise. And it is crucial that the US finds its way because it remains the bulwark and centre of the free societies I believe in.
Very kind of you to come in tonight. Thank you, sir.
It's a great pleasure, as always.
Thank you, sir.